Hi. The Bible reading I've chosen today is Psalm 32. Blessed is the one whose transgressions are forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the one whose sin the Lord does not count against them, and in whose spirit is no deceit. When I kept silent, my bones wasted away, through my groaning all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy on me. My strength was sapped, as in the heat of summer. Therefore I acknowledged my sin to you, and did not cover up my iniquity. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin. Therefore, let all the faithful pray to you while you may be found. Surely the rising of the mighty waters will not reach them. You are my hiding place, and you protect me from trouble, and surround me with songs of deliverance. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. Do not be like the horse or the mule, which have no understanding, but must be controlled by bit and bridle, or they will not come to you. Many are the woes of the wicked, but the Lord's unfailing love surrounds the one who trusts in him. Rejoice in the Lord, and be glad. You righteous sing, and you who are upright in heart, rejoice. I really like the Psalms. I like the Psalms because they're quite honest, aren't they? The psalmists say what they're thinking. There's no kind of pretending things are better than they aren't. And in this psalm we see somebody who works out that they need to come before God. Often when we talk about sin, it's got a kind of funny connotation to it. I don't know about you. In Slimming World, sins are eating dairy milk bars or crisps or massive pieces of cake. Transgressions at school were things like rolling your skirt up too short, or not quite wearing the right socks, or forgetting your maths books too often. And then there were the really daring ones, what you got up to on the bus to school, and maybe what you got up to behind the bus stop at school. And our concept of sin is kind of a bit skewed, isn't it? Every service there's a point where you're offered the confession, and for years and years it just did my head in. Either it seemed really macabre and depressing, or it seemed to kind of layer on guilt that I didn't really feel. So for years I was racking my brains to think of things that I had done, and was coming up with the most ridiculous things to say sorry to God for. That kind of forgiveness is not what this passage is about, and it's not actually what God wants us to do. See, coming before God with either soft sins that you're not really sorry for, or things that most people don't consider sins, or maybe even things that God's not really bothered about, I am still not convinced that God was really that bothered about the length of my skirt. So, what is it all about then? There's a great line, isn't it? It says, when I kept silent, my bones wasted away, though my groaning all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy on me, and my strength was sapped as in the heat of summer. And for me, this thing about coming before God is about coming before God with those things that sap the strength from us. The things that weigh heavy on us. The things that kind of underneath we know but we don't want to talk about. Maybe we just can't forgive anybody. Maybe we're envious. Maybe when we walk past the person who's got the nice house on our street, we're secretly jealous. Or maybe we want other people's lives, whether it's their family, or whether it's their job, or their haircut, or even their legs. Maybe it's envious of people's gardens, or the fact they don't seem to have any drama in their lives. Or maybe actually we've got into really bad habits. We've got into habits that we're ashamed of. Drinking, or maybe even medication, or watching slightly dodgy stuff on telly, or finding stuff on the internet that we know we shouldn't watch. All these things damage us. They eat away at us like bones wasting away. And for each of us they're different. There is no list of don't do this and do that, because that isn't the Christian gospel. The Christian message is about bringing before God anything and everything that kind of gets in the way of you and God, or you and others, or you and yourself. At times in my life, the things that have got in the way have been overworking, have been overambitious, I've been jealous, I've been angry, I've become distracted. I've chosen to watch 24 episodes of something on a box set rather than doing anything constructive with my life. And the things that really eat away at me are often things I've said or done to people, often in the heat of the moment, or often when I'm feeling my saddest or my most vulnerable. There's this other line in this psalm that says, "Then I acknowledged my sin to you and did not cover up my own iniquity. And I said, I will confess to the Lord." I think the first part is actually the fact that we admit to ourselves what's going on. And in admitting to ourselves, we then allow God to hear. And the promise is, you forgave the guilt of my sin. God is here to forgive us, to restore us, to welcome us anew. It says, you are my hiding place, and you will protect me and surround me with songs of deliverance. It promises that God will meet us when we open up to him. It says that God will teach us and instruct us and counsel us and will lead us along the way. So whatever is getting between you and God, you and people, you and yourself, why don't we have the courage to bring it before him? Sin, being an idiot, being harmful, being hurtful, or just being downright stupid. Whatever we call it, God is there to hear us. Rejoice in the Lord and be glad, you righteous. Sing, all you who are upright in heart. It's not the line of the smug person that's never done anything wrong, but rather the line of the one who's brought the heart and soul, mind, strength, body, and complete nuttiness before God, knows they're forgiven and been put back on a different path. They're the ones that say, rejoice in the Lord and be glad. Sing, sing with all your heart.